Hello and welcome. This is Pam. Today we are celebrating. The successes and recoveries of wellness champions that are following the Live Disease-Free plan. The reason they're having so much success is they are treating the root cause of disease. They're treating parasitic infestations. So you're going to hear absolutely remarkable improvements, successes, and recoveries from students. So some of the students are currently in our program, and other students have graduated and they've gone off and they're living their life. If we haven't met, my name is Pam Bartha, and I'm the author of Become a Wellness Champion and the founder of Live Disease-Free. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis over 35 years ago. By the grace of God, I learned early on that what I was dealing with was a parasitic infestation. We've learned a lot in 35 years. We've learned a lot about the types of parasites that infect us and also the better ways to treat them. And so I'm going to be sharing today, I've shared tons of research. If you've just found me for the first time, make sure to go back to especially our blog post on livediseasefree.com, where you can learn about the types of parasites. It's all scientifically validated. You can hear or learn about the diet, the Live Disease-Free diet, why that is so helpful, why it is the first step, the foundational part of before we start treating. So you'll find a rich resource on our Live Disease-Free blog post. And it's like articles that I'm writing every week. So there you can see our condensed videos plus topics. So just scan the topics and pick the topics. You can actually see a lot of worm pictures too. So these students that I'm going to be sharing with you, like what their experience has been, you can actually see some of the parasites that they have passed on our website. Before we get into their amazing successes and recoveries, what I wanted to share with you, just so we're all on the same page, is that what a parasite is and really the rationale, because some of you might be finding us for the first time and saying, Pam, really? Parasites are making me sick? Parasites are causing my symptoms, my autoimmune, my multiple sclerosis, cancer. Yes, any of these, heart disease, any of these conditions, all caused by parasites. So we know that with all diseases are inflammatory conditions. Inflammation is involved in every single disease. And inflammation occurs when our immune system is fighting something. All right, so our immune system is fighting something. That's what causes inflammation. Well, what is the primary job of our immune system? It is to defend us from an invader, to defend us from the enemy, to defend us from different microbes that would make us sick, that are parasites. They live inside of us and cause us harm. So a parasite can be a worm, it can be protozoa, which is a single-celled parasite, it can be bacteria, and it can be fungi. So all of these microbes, they live in our body and they can cause harm to us. So they're called a parasite. So again, the immune system is fighting something when we have disease. And we are told that it's just, our immune system is just attacking our tissue for no reason. But that is not, that is a theory, let's put it that way. That is a theory that has never been proven. And that whole way of thinking is really what is keeping us gridlocked, deadlocked, so that we are not treating the cause. We are not recovering. We are not getting our health and our life back, except when you start to treat the parasite. So that's what I'm going to share with you. So there are many, many wellness champions. We call them the wellness champions. They are students that we have supported over pretty much close to 10 years now in large group settings from all over the world. And they are truly my heroes. They are the leaders. They are the trailblazers. They are the forward thinkers, because they are doing something that the vast majority of people don't even know that is why they're so sick. And so before they found the Live Disease-Free plan, a lot of them were taking tons of supplements, and they were working with different integrative practitioners, and they were getting all kinds of tests done, spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Some people have mentioned to me that they have spent upwards of $100,000 to $300,000 on their health, and they're still sick when they find me. And so some of them, obviously they haven't given up hope because they're still searching, but that is the place where they find me. And the vast majority of people have never, ever heard that what they're dealing with are parasites. They know they have a chronic disease. They know they have terrible, terrible symptoms, but they've never been told that parasites are causing their symptoms and the disease they're dealing with. So it's a really big eye-opener when they find me, and then they go through all of the science that I share, the case studies, and the steps we use to recover. And they're like, this makes so much sense. That's what everybody says. It's not a mystery anymore. It makes sense, and it's so simple. And then they ask, why aren't doctors dealing with this? Why are doctors not treating parasites? Well, that's a topic for another day. Basically, there is no financial investment. It's not lucrative to treat parasites as opposed to prescribing disease-modifying immunosuppressive drugs to us for the rest of our life. And so this is why we are in this gridlock where even just in the MS community, they are not even talking about looking for a cure anymore. When I was first diagnosed, it was always about, the run for the cure and cure. We're looking for the cure. And now they're not even talking about a cure. They're talking about better ways to manage multiple sclerosis and other diseases. And that is not what we want. We do not want to live on these medicines that have terrible adverse effects, and they don't give us quality of life. They don't treat the cause, they don't cure us, and we still become disabled. We still end up in extended care facilities, and we lose our life. We suffer terribly, and we lose our life, especially things like MS, ALS, Parkinson's, PLS. All of these different conditions are just brutal. And the reason I do this work is because I luckily caught the parasites early. But when you almost lose your life and then you find the answer and you get your health and your life back, for me, that is the greatest reward, is to help others. And you're going to hear students right now that are in my program that are like, there are clinics that will not take these people because they are so sick. I have been told, integrative clinics, that they don't work with really, really sick people. They only work with people that they feel that they can help. And I just don't think that's right? Especially when we are not everyone deserves, right, to have their health and their life back. And I believe with all of my heart that we can help people, and we can help them to have more recovery than they ever thought possible. So a lot of people have told me when I'm interviewing them before we have a little visit together where they learn about the plan, and then they understand all the steps in the plan, but they have questions for me. And so then I get to know a little bit about their health history, and I help answer their questions. And when I talk to them, they share with me, they say, I thought I was a really healthy person. I'd been healthy all my life. I was really active. But then there are so many things they say, like, now I'm a homebody. I'm really at home a lot. I don't feel well. I can't make plans. I'm not working. I sit on the sidelines. I can't play with my grandkids or my children. I can't even go for a walk. I can't go shopping. It's absolutely horrible. I can't go for a run because my legs could give out on me at any time. And they say that it's really terrifying that, what is my future going to be like? Do I have a future? And I'm telling you that you can have a future, but you have to take a different path. I decided a long, long time ago to take a different path. So this was when I was 28 years old. I had a severe case of optic neuritis. It was a complete blackout on my left eye. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at a university MS hospital clinic, one of the best in Canada. He told me there was nothing that I could do. I would be completely disabled in time. And then I went home devastated, cried my eyes out. I was like, I thought my life was over. And I reached out to God and I begged him for help and I cried out to God. And I just had this sense that although how hopeless the doctor made it sound, that he would make good come out of this somehow. And I didn't know how, because I didn't really know what MS was. I just knew that it was really bad if it took all vision out of my left eye that quickly within 3 days. I also had tingling and weakness in my legs. I was flatlined on the couch. I was really tired. I couldn't take care of my kids. And then very shortly after that, my mother-in-law gave me this book on integrative health. And that book opened up my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities, a world that I did not know existed. And it was written by a medical doctor who believed that all chronic diseases were caused by infections in the body. And I found that really intriguing. He was really focused on candida, which is a type of yeast. And I thought, well, I never had a yeast infection. I don't know, but I had gut issues for years since I was a child, like a lot of constipation, gas, things like that. So when I read all those successes and read the plan, I thought, this is a lot better. This is a lot more hopeful than what I was given by the expert medical doctor that basically said you will be completely disabled in time. So because I could relate to the gut issues and it made a lot of sense to me back then also, I decided to take a different path. So long story short, 35 years later, still MS free. We've coached hundreds of people all over the world. We have a plan that is like nothing else in the world because of our experience, and again, by the grace of God, I truly I beg him for help. I beg him to heal. Like some of my students that I'll be sharing their successes thus far, I pray for them. And I really beg God, like, Lord, I am not qualified to help these people. I don't know what parasites they're dealing with. And I just beg for help. And he is faithful. He says he will be, and he is. So that is my secret. And so I just wanted to share their successes. I had a really fun time yesterday because it's our live Q&A call on Tuesday nights. And that's where I get to hear all these successes. So all these successes came in last night or last Tuesday. And then also there were a number of our wellness champions that have posted their successes on social media. So I'm going to go through those also. And I really hope that this gives you hope that there is a better way to treat whatever disease you're dealing with, that there is a proven plan. If you need support, if you don't have a doctor that understands really how to treat parasites effectively, that there is a plan. We're here for you, and we would be honored to support you. One of the students I just wanted to share, like I'll just say student number 1, 2, and 3, because these are people that are actually in the program. So some of them are just starting within the last week or two. Others, they're finishing. So this student diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, she is a healthcare professional, and she is getting to the end of the program. She's not 100% done treating, but she is almost symptom-free, which is so cool. She said, I am so deeply grateful for all that I have gleaned in the Live Disease-Free plan. Thank you with my whole heart. I still have a little bit more work to do, but I am almost symptom-free thanks to what I have learned in the Live Disease-Free plan. So this is incredibly exciting. Another student that's on her way. Student number 2, she shared, so she does not have multiple sclerosis, and she shared that she found my information in October 2024, and she started the Live Disease-Free diet at that time. 6 days ago, so she didn't join the program right off the bat. I do have our Live Disease-Free diet guidelines on our website, Live Disease-Free. Under research, you can find them there. So she started that, and then she joined a while later. But now she is treating, and she has just 6 days ago, I started my 3rd treatment cycle, and she's actually worked up to taking 5 parasite drugs together on the same days. And so our students usually test well for 3 to 5 parasite drugs. And we don't start with 5 parasite drugs because it would be kind of strong and it would be like a very strong die-off reaction. But she's working her way up and they're tolerated really well. And she's having amazing successes. So she's just following it safely and effectively. She's also doing the oxidizing enemas. I can't say the name of the oxidizing agent on social media, but you can find that on our website, livediseasefree.com. Look at oxygen therapies or oxygen enemas for treating parasites, live disease free, and you'll find the blog post there. So she shared, I have been doing the oxidizing enemas for almost 2 weeks, every other day, sometimes every day now because of the horrible worms that I'm passing. I am horrified, but relieved to see them, the worms that she's passing. Now I know why I have been so sick for years. So she's had more like arthritis. That's the kind of condition that she's been dealing with, not multiple sclerosis. It is far worse than I imagined. I have probably passed about 100 worms. One of them was 20 inches long. I feel lighter. I feel better, lighter. My body feels like it is being freed up, less tense and more fluid. In the past, I felt stuck physically. My muscle cramps have decreased to about 10% of what they had been for the last 6 to 8 months. My eczema continues to improve. My skin color is much better, especially this last week. I look healthier. My joints continue to feel good. My bladder issues have improved. I am disgusted, but so relieved and thankful that I found your plan to eject these parasites from my body despite how alarming it is. So just amazing. So she's recovering from like arthritis, not multiple sclerosis, and she's on her 3rd treatment cycle, and she is now able to take 5 parasite drugs, and it's a better killing effect. It's more, and of course, these drugs are based on what types of parasites we have, and we determine that through energy testing. So student number 3 is quite disabled. I am slowly, with multiple sclerosis, I am slowly approaching the end of my 1st treatment cycle, and she's been taking 2 parasite drugs that she tested well for. And then I will take 2 other parasite drugs after she's finished these first 2. And then when she's done that, she's going to start treating fungus. She said, I'm happy to report that all is going well and I'm having improvements. The remarkable improvements are very welcome. So when I practice standing up, so a lot of these people are in wheelchairs and they can't stand or walk. So she said, when I practice standing up, I feel so different in my legs. My muscles are not screaming at me anymore as I'm standing. Instead, I feel an ease in both legs and that they are very even in their ability to support me. I am happy that this has continued day after day since I started treating last week. Also, my hands are starting to relax. I can feel this when I'm typing. One night in bed, I found myself bending my right leg, which never happens. So this is the thing, is that when we have disability from multiple sclerosis, we really believe that we can never turn back the clock. We can never get our mobility back, and nothing is farther from the truth. We cannot never promise full recovery, but what we are seeing is that people have far more recovery than they ever thought possible. Sometimes it takes a few treatment cycles, but for example, somebody can have their hand clenched for 40 years. And then one morning they wake up, like while they're treating, they wake up and their hand is open and they can start moving their fingers. It's truly miraculous. So there is so much that we don't know about multiple sclerosis. Like it's not Often it's not permanent damage to the myelin, to our nerve tissue. It is inflammation. Inflammation can heal. Of course, scar tissue on nerves cannot, but very, very often it is all just inflammation. So proud of her. The next student shared, the Live Disease-Free diet has been an incredible tool. That, along with the oxidizing agent, she's taking it orally and she's doing enemas with it. She said, my frequent and miserable urinary tract infections have stopped, and my day and night sweats have also stopped. And a big surprise is that her libido has also returned. So she is not treating yet. She's just, well, a little bit with the oxidizing agent, but not with the parasite drugs yet. The diet, supporting the body, and using the oxygen type therapy. So much more for her to come. The next student shared that, number one, I just want to mention that she was energy tested and she has just started treating. She said, I am so grateful for all the information in the Live Disease-Free plan. I feel so much better with just changing my diet. What a difference. I am also so grateful for the Live Disease-Free plan because you explain everything so well. You may not know it, but my background is a teacher. I used to be a math and science teacher, a high school math and science teacher, before I left the school district and went into full-time coaching. So I have a lot of training in developing programs, developing courses, communicating effectively, as a teacher has to be. And of course, I worked with a lot of young students. So my students are a little bit more, compared to high school, right? My students are mature adults and they are very disciplined and very motivated because they want their health and their life back. The next student shared, so this is a student that's been maybe 2 weeks in the program, just following the diet, supporting the body, getting ready to treat. And she has MS. She actually, I'm really proud of her because I never tell people they should not take their medicine or they should take their medicine. That's between them and their doctor. I will give them guidance, like make sure to read up on it, the adverse effects, how it's working in the body. And so she made the decision that she did not want to have the next infusion. Because she's really concerned that it destroys her B cells and she needs her immune system to help her to recover. And she never had any benefits, any improvements with it. And so she was really concerned about like the adverse effects of cancer, for example. So these are the people I work with. They're playing an active role in their healthcare. They're learning, they're implementing as they feel comfortable. It's amazing. So this student shared, my foot pain has been less this past week. I have not done a foot bath one time this week. Normally, I take 200 milligrams of gabapentin first thing in the morning, and then I do a foot bath sometime throughout the day. No foot baths needed, but today was also the first day that I did not use gabapentin either. So she's not treating it all. She's just following the diet, and she's getting ready to treat the parasite. So the Live Disease-Free diet is very, very powerful. If you're new to this, the rationale is that for all the parasites, whether it's fungi, bacteria, protozoa, or worms, their favorite source of energy is carbohydrates and simple sugars. So when you decrease that enough, you find that the inflammation starts to go down because the parasites are less active. The immune system doesn't have to go after them as hard. Less toxins are produced, and people have tremendous relief, tremendous symptom improvements. And that is really important before we start treating. Now, this next student, it does not have multiple sclerosis. She has, can't remember what she has, but she's had terrible neurological symptoms. I believe in her past drop foot, she's had tremors, she's had seizures, she's been so unwell. She's a healthcare professional. And she was one that honestly, some of these clinics would not work with. Because she was so sensitive to everything. A little bit of garlic would send her into a Herx reaction, like having raw garlic with her food. Using the oxidizing agent, spritzing a very, very dilute amount on her skin would send her into tremors. And it was ridiculous how sensitive she was. And these people, like, they're just dying. Like, it's so awful. But again, I have God on my side, the Lord on my side. And so I'm just like, if I can help her in any way, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to have the courage to help the best I can. And I begged God, like, I was like, Lord, she's really, really sick. Please, please help her. So through her hard work and answer to my prayers, like, she has come so far. She can tolerate a few supplements now that she needs that has been really supporting, like minerals, electrolytes, just basic things like that. Because like, these parasites throw the whole chemistry of your body off. And so she was able to get that in. She was able to follow the diet. But again, even just transitioning to that was really hard for her. And then she has been able to start with one parasite drug with a very small, like, I don't know, it was like a quarter or a half of a pill, and working her way up. And she had a little bit of reaction. She was able to start doing the oxidizing enemas a little bit. She passed a worm, and that was so exciting. And then later she passed this disgusting fluke. It looks like a fluke. Flukes are so pro-inflammatory, which could be part of the reason of what she's going through. And then she shared this, like, this is so profound. This came in this week. Decades ago, she said, when I started taking antibiotics for Lyme disease and the co-infections of Lyme, even at the lowest dosages, I was so sick. I've never been truly able to take them at the way that you're supposed to take them. This is why I was so scared to take the parasite drugs, because this is all that I had to compare them to. I am surprised and thrilled and in awe of how good I feel being on or taking the first parasite drug for 16 days now. So she's not even at the full dose. She's close to the full, well, she's had half the full dose of one parasite drug. And she feels really good on it. Like, it's really, and it's a roundworm medication, which is crazy. I'm not even at the full dose of this drug, and I'm so happy that I'm feeling so much better. This is only the beginning. I have passed 3 worms so far. I am sleeping better. I'm digesting my food better. I feel safe and oddly secure by taking this medication. And I totally get that, because when you have prepared the body, when you have supported your body and you're ready to treat, then the parasite drugs do their job and you don't get the Herx reactions. I can tell that the inflammation has dramatically decreased. I am stepping into a new gateway, so I can actually have the rest of my life to enjoy even more than I realize yet. I can even see that my future is unfolding. So again, like, she was so sick a few months ago. Yes, she's going a little bit more slowly than some of our students, but I always say, the greater the challenge, the sweeter the victory. And that is so true for this student. The vibrations that she's been having have dramatically and vastly diminished, including her attachment to aversion to all the pain and problems that she had. I can do it, she said. I can feel that my body is strengthening. I am relaxing more and more into my body and my life. Everyone around can tell the difference. This is such a huge answer to prayer for me. Like I said, I study, I do my best, but it is by the grace of God that we're doing this work. Do you know any other practitioners that are having this kind of success? I know maybe one of my mentors, but otherwise, no. But I mean, do you know any people that are doing this much on their own that are having this success? No, I don't personally. And I'm in contact with people all over the world. Student number 8. So this student is a young man. He does not have multiple sclerosis, but he was having very scary neurological symptoms. He was trying to get a diagnosis. He didn't want a diagnosis, but it's like you have these scary symptoms and you want to know what's going on in your body, and then you go from expert to expert and you find out they don't know, and then eventually you get a label, but they don't know what causes it and there is no cure. So it's not super helpful. So he did talk to different naturopaths. He interviewed different integrative practitioners. He decided to go with us because he liked our step-by-step plan. It made sense to him. And he's been working really hard. He's done multiple parasite treatments. He's doing really well in school, like studying post-secondary education, going back to the gym. This was his update just this week. So I am feeling better. I'm sleeping deeply. I can breathe. So he was having, I don't know, it was like SIBO also, where he was having like challenges with breathing type thing. And so he said, I am able to breathe more deeply, and he's going to the gym. He's keeping his carbs down with the Live Disease-Free diet. He's doing enemas regularly. And he has passed a lot of what we believe are flukes, and he's found a combination that I've helped him with of parasite drugs that are like, it's a game changer for him. He said, I feel like this is a winning combination. He said, I felt like I got over the hump of the stress response during work days. So when we're really sick, we don't handle stress well. We can have a lot of anxiety and we can get these panic attacks, and we don't realize that very often it's linked to these parasites that we're dealing with. They do respond to our stress hormones, and I'm not exactly sure of how all of that works, but I've heard from many students, like if they become severely stressed, their limb can go rigid. Like it's profound how strong the reaction can be when we're going through stress. But he said, what I am doing has dramatically reduced the inflammation in my brain. I don't get the crawly feelings in my head when I feel stressed. The last few months that triggered the breathlessness, he doesn't have that anymore. I was reflecting on some of the people that you work with and how much love you give them and hope, and how it brings their health into focus. Well, it would be nice if the doctors learned how to think outside the box. Wouldn't it be nice if the evidence didn't just mean peer-reviewed studies often funded by pharmaceutical companies? I look forward to my sleep because I know that I'm getting better, and I know that sleep is a really big part of that. So I hope this whole email sounds like a success, because it is. I don't know who else could have guided me to this point. Things are coming into focus. They're becoming more clear. I can handle stress better and better. Wow, what a profound journey so far. So he's not done treating, but I would guess like 75% better, or maybe 80% better. And again, it would have taken him years to get a diagnosis, and then he would have lived with disease and had chronic disease. And now he has the tools, he has the skill to really pay attention to his body. And as he recovers, if he ever has parasites again, which we all will, we live on planet Earth and it's just part of life, then he has the wisdom, the knowledge, the skill level to correct it early so that he never ends up in this position again. And that's with all of our students. So student number 10, like this is Christmas to me. This is like my live Q&A calls, preparing for them. Like I get a lot of emails that come in, and I really organize things, and it literally, I was just lit up yesterday before I started the call. All the parasite pictures that I saw, all the successes that came in, it's truly profound. Like these people are bringing change, and I'm so proud of them. They think ahead of the pack. So this is student number 10. Pam, you are in touch with the times. I'm glad that I know you. A couple of weeks ago, I had so much pain walking, and this week, after following the Live Disease-Free plan and using nutrients that tested strong for her with muscle testing, and she's also just using garlic and that oxidizing enema, she said, I'm walking easier. I have warmth in my legs and my feet. I feel calm, And I'm not even really treating yet. Yeah, garlic is like an antimicrobial herb, but she's not even using the parasite drug. So how amazing is that? She's having more success than any MS drug could ever give you. And she hasn't even started in the full treatment plan yet. Now let's just share a couple of successes that came in over Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a blog post this week. It'll be ready either Friday or Monday, and go to livediseasefree.com. If you want to be in touch with us when we release all of this amazing information and my notes and other resources, make sure to be on our email list. You can go to our website, livediseasefree.com, and you can put your name and email in there, and then you are in our system and I can correspond with you. But our blog post is where you will find all these successes, and share this with other people. You can help bring change by just sharing. And that's all that I ask, is that if you believe in this, if you feel this is amazing, share it with others. You have no idea who you're going to bring hope to. So Debbie Allen is somebody I coached a long time ago, like I think 2018. And she just did a post. So this is like a screenshot of I believe a Facebook post. This is my program, the Live Disease Free program. I think it is the best way to overcome multiple sclerosis. It worked for me. I am an MS overcomer, and I am extremely proud of the fact. Thank you, Pam. So nice to hear from her. And then Joe doesn't have multiple sclerosis, but a lot of awful symptoms. And he shared, Pam knows what she's talking about. The results I have gained from the Live Disease Free plan have surprised doctors who are often unaware of the link between parasites and MS. The next student is a mother of one of my students, and so she has been extremely supportive of her son. So her name is Diana, and she shared, my son was very, very ill, suspected MS Lyme. We signed up with Pam, amazing changes in just a few months, and he is on the road to recovery. Make sure to check out Pam's videos and blogs. Do as much research as you can. Everything makes sense. And then she shared one other post here. My son he's finished 2 rounds of treating parasites after suffering with debilitating fatigue, numbness, tremors, brain lesions, etc., etc. He is on the full road to recovery. Recovery is quick. If you are ill, I suggest that you go through all of her videos and blog posts, do your own research. She has the science to back up everything that she's saying, and everything makes sense. Yes, he passed worms, a lot of them. Once that happened, everything else falls into place. And then another student, you can go check out her video online on livediseasefree.com YouTube. And that's Tracy. She is a retired dentist. Her husband's a dentist. She's a dentist. She was bedridden last year. She didn't have MS, but she had she had to use a walker. She was in excruciating pain. She had several conditions. She had arthritis in her hands. Her doctor recommended braces for her hands. And she went from that type of health to being able to swim with her grandchildren again and take care of, babysit grandchildren that she's never been able to do, to travel, to exercise, to move. She's living her life. Us women, we love to take care of our families. We love to cook for them and just have families get together. And now she can do that again. She shared, you helped me so much. I am still doing well after 3 years. I have all the tools to get better if I ever feel unwell. So again, we will be exposed to parasites, and if you catch them really early, you'll never be in the position of chronic disease again. If you want to listen to more videos of our students that have recovered, make sure to go to Live Disease Free YouTube. There is a playlist, and you can actually hear many of the wellness champions from their own voices, their experiences. There are some on our website, but more would be on the YouTube channel, Live Disease Free. And then there's a playlist, and it's the Wellness Champion Successes or just Successes. And there you can actually listen to them sharing their experience. Make sure to grab a Kleenex because you are going to have many happy tears. I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really hope that all of these amazing successes from these amazing heroes of mine, they really bring tears of joy to my eyes every week. It makes me so happy to just hear them, to hear all these people taking charge of their health, getting their life back. And then I hear, 10 years later that they're still MS free and they're writing books and they're doing podcasts and they're starting wellness clinics. It warms my heart. This is why I do this work. So if this is new to you, go to our website, livediseasefree.com, or just watch my masterclass training first. Or if you just want to learn more about what we're doing, you'll find amazing articles on our blog post, shorter videos there also. Get that one-page resource from last week about how to talk to your doctor about parasites. And if you need support, if you don't have a practitioner that understands how to treat parasites, make sure to watch my training. You'll have a chance to book a time to chat with me to make sure that our program is a good fit for you. And then you can get all your questions answered. And I would be so honored to support you if you need a proven plan. So with that, please help us to share these successes. So please like, share, and subscribe to help us get the word out. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye for now.